I worked out on Friday with my friend Anne, and it felt good. I woke up Saturday morning and I couldn't walk because my hamstrings were so sore that they didn't want to operate anymore as hamstrings.
Yeah! Get low. And stop.
So, I'm in pain. A lot of you have been asking, rightly so, where book 3 is. And the answer to that has been complicated, and I've tried to kind of give piecemeal answers on Instagram and Facebook and emails and stuff. But I thought I'd just do a video to kind of explain where things are at. So, about a year ago, actually, I had just joined a gym. I was actually doing great. I was going like 4 days a week. It felt awesome. And then one day I had what felt like a cold. That lasted for, I mean, to a degree, it's still going on. What ended up happening is I got something. I still don't entirely know what. Dozens of blood tests, vision tests, optometrists looked into my eye socket. What do you call that nerve? Eye nerve? There's a name. I'm not an eye doctor. Basically, I would barely be able to get through work. I'd literally fall asleep at my desk. Doesn't matter how much sleep I got, I could sleep 12 hours and still feel the same. And I would come home and just collapse on my couch. I'd have this thing called skull fire, which I named because that felt like an accurate description. Which is basically where everything in my shoulders, neck, and skull felt like it was radiating heat. It felt like being hit by a truck every day. So I couldn't do anything. I found out I was severely anemic, and then I finally got approval to do iron infusions, which is where they literally just inject you with an iron solution. Still wasn't really feeling better, and then a couple weeks after I got my last one, it's like a light bulb flipped on in my brain and I suddenly felt better. But it took the entirety of last year to kind of figure out what was going on, and we still don't entirely know if that's the whole picture. So I started to feel a lot better in December. Now that it's January, I'm actually starting to feel a little bit worse again, so I might need more iron infusions. I'm getting some more blood tests done. But that is a big part of why book 3 did not get worked on last year. I couldn't cook dinner, let alone try and plot a very complicated ending to a series. So where I'm at now is I am feeling a lot better, but I still get fatigued pretty easily. And then on top of the anemia and the mystery potential secondary illness, I have depression and anxiety. So all of those things mixed together make it some days really difficult to just function as a human being. I am eating better. I'm back at the gym. I am doing strength training. I'm doing distance running. And I am training specifically to do a Spartan race. And the reason I signed up for that is because I really wanted to, once I started feeling better in December, I was like, you know what, I don't want to just feel okay, I want to feel amazing. So I'm just gonna see how far I can push myself, not in a bad way, but in a healthful way. And you know, the older you get, the less your body's like, I'll eat anything and still function the same way as when I was 18. So yeah, better diet, working out a lot, training with my friend Anne. She was the one that trained me on Friday and the reason that I could not walk for 2 days.
Omar? Yeah! Nice job.
So yeah, health. Oh, today I ate like a bunch of seeds in yogurt. It tasted really good actually because I put a lot of dried fruit in there, which is sugar basically, but it's natural sugar. So I try to put more iron in my diet, and apparently lots of seeds are high in iron. Who knew? The internet knew. I got that information from a different YouTuber. On top of all that, I was feeling a lot better in December. Towards the end of December, I had all these things in my head that I've wanted to do for my whole life, really, a lot of them, and I just haven't. Because I was feeling so good, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do these things. I'm just gonna start doing them. So I made a very extensive goals list, which happened to coincide with the new year. So I don't call them New Year's resolutions, but they're basically New Year's resolutions. And I have like almost 50 of them. And I got really nerdy about it. And I'm not a math person, but I do like order. I like logic. I like things to have their place and to be easily readable. So I made a very, very in-depth spreadsheet, and I broke the goals down by daily, weekly, monthly, annually, 5 years, 10 years. And each day that I do the thing, I've accomplished the task or the goal that I set out for myself, I just put a little X there. And if I didn't do the thing, it's blank. So all the blank cells are haunting me with my lack of accomplishment. So I've just been really nerding out about that lately. You'll be pleased to note that on my annual list is finish book 3. So that is a goal, and if I don't accomplish it, that's gonna make me as upset as it makes everybody else. One of the things about being depressed and anxious is that sometimes you build stuff up in your head until it becomes massive-er than it actually is. And that's what has happened with book 3, because I couldn't work on it pretty much at all last year. It's just grown and grown into this monster that I have to slay or something. To get back in the groove, I made a daily goal of writing for 30 minutes every day. So that's to kind of ease me back into the really monumental task of writing a novel that's probably going to be 150,000 words. On top of that, I'm doing 2 other ridiculously massive things, which are, 1, I am working on a creative project that is even bigger than writing a book. And I can't say anything about it because it's like when people find out that they're pregnant and they don't want to tell anybody until like the first trimester's over, because things can happen and you don't want to get your hopes up or anybody else's hopes up until you know pretty for sure that it's going to happen. So all I will say is that I'm working very hard on a very, very large creative project that it's going to require a lot of stars aligning. That's also been taking up a huge amount of my focus. Also, I'm trying to buy a house. I love this apartment. I freaking love this apartment. It is the most beautiful place I've ever lived. But I'm also sinking a lot of money in rent and parking and utilities every month. So I got hooked up with a real estate agent and a loan officer, and I took a 6-hour first-time home buyer's workshop. And I'm like, oh, I can do this. I didn't think I could afford to do this, and I can afford to do this. Yeah, if all things go according to plan, starting in August, I will actually be looking for a house to buy. I mean, I've been looking, but it's bad because I know I can't buy anything right now, so the houses I'm looking at are not going to be on the market in August. So I actually had to make a goal of don't look at Redfin anymore because it was getting to be a little obsessive. I also met with my friends who just started a home renovation company about what it would cost to like build my dream house or put an addition onto an existing property and put all like the custom woodwork and stuff that I want in, and so I got ballpark figures for that. And so I'm just slowly strategizing on these really, really big goals. I'm also learning Latin and French simultaneously. I decided that was a good idea on top of everything else. So I bought Rosetta Stone subscriptions and I practice every day. So learning 2 languages, writing a book, working on a massive creative project, trying to buy a house, and trying to run a Spartan race in 2 months / get my health in order has me a little overwhelmed. I'm adjusting. That's why. That's pretty much the explanation for why book 3 is not out yet. I am feeling better, but it's kind of an up and down thing at the moment. Some days I feel amazing, and some days I feel like I can't get out of bed. So we're still figuring it out, but I'm doing what I can, and I'm trying to be really consistent with exercise and therapy and all sorts of stuff. So we're making progress. I don't know why I said we, because it's just me. Hello, internet. I feel like I should have some cool concluding thing, but I don't. You guys want to see my grammar books? Okay, so I have 5. This was actually my college Latin book. My professor was I believe she was from Madagascar, and she was a nun for 15 years before she became a professor. So she was a French was at least one of her native languages, and English was like her 3rd or 4th language. So she was teaching Latin to American students but her native language was French. So that was a tricky class. Learned some, but that was a weird semester. And then this is a much more readable Latin grammar book, so I'm slowly making my way through this. My mom was my English teacher in high school, and I'm realizing that like there's a lot of grammar rules I just instinctively know but don't actually know the rules for, and wanted to pick those up, so I bought this, which is really more about punctuation, but it's still a fun book. And also this, which I have not gotten into yet, but it's very little, so that makes me happy because it feels like it's not going to be super intimidating to read. And then I got this. This is my French grammar book, also very readable, which is nice, and also very small, which I like. That's my life right now. One other thing I want to do is actually want to do more of these videos because I really miss them. Like I used to do them every month or something earlier on in the publication process, and they do take a while to shoot and to edit and to color correct and upload and all that jazz. So if there's anything you want to know about the books, about me, about writing, about health stuff, I mean, you know, I'm not a doctor, but I've gone to a lot of doctors this past year. Or about thrifting, I had to redo my budget this January, and I had to chop down my thrifting line item to $25 a month, which was so painful. I'm just gonna have to be more savvy with what I'm buying. I might do some thrift videos, I might do some sewing videos, some DIY videos. Also, this is my thrifted dress rack of beautiful things that I have found at thrift stores. I probably completely messed up the focus by doing that. I should have done that in 2 different takes. Lessons learned. Anyway, so that's the gist of things. Leave comments if you would like to know anything or see anything in particular, and I will keep you updated on the status of book 3. See you next time.